Hello everyone, welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Till now, we have been talking about Mahadev, Shivji, the god of gods. But last time I told you that we will now speak about Mahadevi, Parvati, Shivji's wife. Who is Mahadevi? Is she just the energy of Shiva, his Shakti, his power to create the world and to do things? Or does she also come in a form to be his married wife? Which one is she, or is she both? First, I will read out to you from my own book, Shiva, the Ultimate Time Traveler, the author's introduction, which will give a light about what I think about Shiv and Parvati. He is the one who existed even before the world began. He is the one who has been prayed to even when he was unseen. And ever since the very first time he chose to make his presence known, Shiva has been loved by millions. Records about him from ancient folklore are very interesting. He is the perfection of opposites, supreme spiritual guru but warrior chieftain, ascetic but perfect husband, mendicant but householder, meditative but intoxicated, master of yogic stillness but king of dance. Shiva is the fountainhead where paradox reconciles. In the Hindu pantheon of gods, he is called the destroyer, and yet known by the beautiful symbol of creation, the Shivling. Shiva is a storyteller's delight. But because Shiva is highly paradoxical, it comes as no surprise that much as he is loved by the masses, there have been times when he has actually been maligned in some circles. This may have been by the design of a select few, as had happened at his own father-in-law Daksha's instance. We did that story. Or then it may simply be because of ignorance, a lack of knowing Shiva's spirituality. Ignorance is not always bliss. Ignorance mostly leads to a fear, which then makes up its own stories. I believed it was important that Shiva's endearing mythology, as well as his scintillating spirituality, both needed to be known. The twin wings that make the truly ethereal flight he eternally embarks upon. It became my call to write a book that gives equal emphasis to Shiva's story and reveals the fabulous mystic that he is and indeed has always been. At first, I was overwhelmed by his infinite aspects. What could one write about him who is timeless, limitless, and boundless? And then the question itself revealed the answer. One sure mark of Shiva is that he is bound to Parvati. It is said of Shiva that he does not incarnate. Of Parvati's bhakti, it is said she is the one who can make even Shiva incarnate. He is timeless, and yet when Parvati manifests, it is time for Shiva to arrive. He is formless, but when she arrives, he manifests form. She is his eternal soulmate, and they always find each other through the mists of cosmic time. Even through lifetimes, such is the magic of their love. For it is said Parvati is his wife even from her previous birth, when she was called Sati. And I realized that behind the innumerable tales about him, at the core of the myriad roles that he plays out, Shiva's story is essentially a love story ever and ever again. So, who is Mahadevi? Is she just the energy, just the Shakti? Or is there a woman behind the man? Is there a woman to whom Shiva gets married and she is called Mahadevi? Now, I must share with you that about 25 years ago, in my town in Jammu, there were some people who came from Kashmir, and amongst them was a person called Balji Nath Pandit. They were displaced from their homes and they had come to settle in Jammu. And Baljinath ji at that time also was about 80 years old, and he was perhaps the greatest scholar in modern times of Kashmir Shaivism. Kashmir Shaivism is, to my mind, the most profound darshan, system of philosophy about Shiva that we have as our heritage. So I went to his house, and it became a routine to go to his house almost every Sunday for many weeks. And I would just carry a little bit of fruit basket for him, and then he would start talking to me about Kashmir Shaivism. And his wife would give us that lovely Kashmiri kava, and it was a wonderful learning for me. Now, Kashmir Shaivism normally talks of Shivji as Nirakar, the formless, the consciousness, that supreme consciousness, that prakash, luminosity, from where everything is created. So they feel that we are all coming from Shiv Tattva, the God stuff. That is all right. But my question was, is there Shiva the yogi, the one who sits in dhyana? Was there such a person? And I used to keep asking Baljinath ji this, कि सब ठीक है, आप मेरे को ये सिखा रहे हैं कश्मीर शैविज्म, पर शिवजी थे क्या? एक योगी थे शिवजी? And he kept on smiling and never answered that, and said, one day I will answer you. And our little Leela went on like this. I learnt a lot of Shaivism in the bargain. One day when I went to him, and I didn't really ask him the same question, he looked at me and he said, Shailendra ji, today I will answer your question. You have been asking me that we all come from Shiv Tattva, but is there Shiva the yogi? And yes, the answer is there is. We call him Umapati Nath. Uma is Parvati, and the one who gets married to Parvati, whom the Kashmiris consider their daughter. Actually, all of Himachal and Kashmir was one part. I mean, in the ancient history, the mountain people, the people of the Himalayas, so they consider Parvati as their daughter. And the person who is worthy of getting married to her, that person is Shiva. Umapati Nath, the husband and the Swami of Parvati. But this description itself tells us what Mahadevi is. The person who can get married to her is Shiva, Shiva the yogi. So that is Mahadevi. So it means that Mahadevi herself, Parvati, Shakti, Durga, is as great a power as Shiva himself. If he is Prakash, luminosity, she is Vimarsh, his power to do. And therefore, next time I will tell you yet another story of both Shiva and Parvati, of Mahadev and Mahadevi. Join us here again next Monday on the same channel. And if you're liking these talks, please subscribe to the channel. Om Namah Shivaya.